Hi, Mr. Legos.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. So today we're just wrapping up with what we've been learning the past few weeks during 7th period, and we're talking a lot about how to prepare for college and creating resumes and doing job interviews and all that good stuff. Now today we're going through transitional living. So we're just curious. We wanted to ask you a few questions about your college life.
Okay.
So first off, where did you go to college?
I went to school in San Diego. I went to UCSD, the University of California, San Diego. It wasn't too far from home. I'm actually from Oceanside originally, so that's about 35, 40 minutes north, north of where I went to school. So it wasn't too far of a drive. And I actually lived on campus my first year. I lived on the on-campus housing, not the dorms, but the on-campus apartments actually.
Oh, wow. So it's not really a dorm, but not really an apartment?
Yeah, so it's a set of apartments on the campus. So the way it's set up is there's about, we had 2 rooms and a living space and a refrigerator, and a bathroom. We had everything in there, so it wasn't really a shared bathroom like the dorms have. Mm-hmm. We shared between, there was 5 of us in our one apartment, and then 2 bedroom. There's 3 people in the 1 bedroom, and then 2 people in the other bedroom.
How much was it?
It was... it included our food. Mm-hmm. So I think altogether it was roughly around, probably a little over 1,000, maybe between 1,000 to 1,300 a month. That was the rent plus the food points. And the food, they give you a lot of food actually.
Okay. So how did you find that place? So it wasn't quite a dorm, so you didn't really have to find it off the internet or anything. Yeah. So how did you find it?
The school set it up. When you apply for on-campus residency, they ask you where would you like to live, and actually my first choice was actually the dorms, but since our school was so overcrowded, it was pretty much on a first come first served basis. So second came the apartments. So I got it through just the application itself. I see.
So did you have any roommates?
Yes, I had 5 of them. There's 5 of us. Wow. Very different people. 5 very different people in one living space, and again, it was just 2 bedrooms. There's 3 of us in our 1 bedroom, which was no more than probably about a 15-foot room. So wow. It was very crowded.
How were they? Did you know them originally, or they just?
No. So when you apply for your housing, you fill out the survey, or at least for UCSD, you fill out the survey. What are your interests? Do you like to study? Do you prefer hip-hop or rock or rap or, jazz, things like that? Do you prefer, do you like being around smokers or drinkers, things like that? And so when I got my application, actually, my mom was with me. So she was right behind my back when I was filling out this application, so I was like, oh, man. So I got put with some square bears, I guess you can say. We were very different. One of them was from just a very small town, and he thought for the first 4 months that I was African American. I had another guy who he just was very random. He just rode off on a bike one day, like at 4 in the morning when we were still up, kind of just hanging out with some friends. And he didn't show up till about 14 hours later, like 6 in the afternoon. And it was because he just decided to follow the UCSD bike team, and he biked all the way to pretty much halfway to Los Angeles and back to San Diego.
Wow.
Yeah.
You seem like you had some very interesting roommates.
Yeah. So
do you keep in contact with any of them still?
Not any of those roommates. I do keep in touch with some of the people who lived around me. We were just a little bit more alike. We had the same interests, so I do keep in touch with some of those people.
I see.
Yeah.
So a little bit more about that. So how was it like to move away from home? Was it hard? Was it easy?
Moving away, I mean, like I said, I was only about 35 minutes away, so it wasn't too difficult for me. I saw the difficulty with a lot of my friends who moved from maybe San Francisco to San Diego. It was a lot more difficult for them to see their parents. But if you're anywhere between an hour to 2 hours, it isn't too bad. But I did try to keep my distance to try to just maintain that independence to just kind of grow a little away from my parents and just try to survive out there by myself.
Did you go back to see your family a lot?
I would say maybe 2 times a month, maybe. 2 times a month, or major holidays, or if I needed, if I was out of money and I needed to do laundry, or I was craving a home-cooked meal. Yeah, so.
So how did you pay for college?
I was actually very fortunate. My dad was in the military, so he was actually retired. So we got what's called the VA benefits, military veterans benefits. So my college tuition was paid for. What I did have to pay for though was my books and my housing. So the tuition is only covered, which is the classes. So I actually I did have to take a few grants out just to cover for some living expenses. But for grad school, which I just finished up, I did take out loans. So loans are things that you do have to pay back, unfortunately. But
can you tell us the difference between grants and loans?
Yeah, so loans pretty much are things that you borrow money and you have to pay it back, sometimes with interest. So additional money on top of what you borrowed. Grants are pretty much free money, which if you guys need, I work for financial aid, so I'll hook you guys up. So let me know.
Awesome. Did you work at that time at all?
I did not. Well, I did work on campus. Actually, I did work on campus, but just only during the summers. I actually worked as a TA for a class in the summertime.
Awesome. So did you learn how to budget, just like what we went through with Ms. Frazier's budgeting lesson?
Yeah, I was fortunate actually. I have an older brother who who went to college before me, so he kind of taught me the ropes, how to kind of budget my financial aid, my money, because what happens is you get this money in the beginning of the semester, and it's like thousands of dollars, and you think you're very rich, but then you realize you need to spread that money out throughout the semester for paying for different books, paying for just like little things like water or clothes, notebooks, pencil supplies, things like that. So you really do have to learn to budget and just kind of take a little bit out at a time. But definitely, I think what we're doing here at AGR, I think will benefit a lot of the students.
Thank you. So we're heading to the end. So any stories about work or college that you want to share?
About work or college, I think college you guys can ask me. There are a lot of stories. There are definitely a lot of stories. I will say this though, college is definitely a time of growth. This is where I did a lot of my growing, a lot of my just kind of individuality, finding out who I was, and figuring out what I wanted to do in life, and just meeting all sorts of different people. So I shared some of those stories earlier with my roommates, but you meet people from all over the country in college with just all sorts of different personalities and cultural backgrounds. It's just a really fun experience.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Legos. Any last words of wisdom for the fellow juniors?
Let's see. I think just keep working hard at what you guys are doing. I'm very proud of you guys. One thing I would say, responsibility. Responsibility, college, no one's going to check up on you. You're not going to have anybody seeing if you're absent or not, no calls home. So definitely learn to just be responsible, and just look out for that. Look out for that, and just to stay focused.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Mr. Legos.
All right, thank you.